When you're alone, you can hear yourself because you're by yourself. If you want to know yourself, you have to be by yourself. Do you know yourself? That is the question. If you want to know yourself, you have to be by yourself. Okay? That's what I believe. You got to be by yourself so you can get rid of those outside influences. Be by yourself. Talk to yourself. I know that sounds crazy, right? Like, oh, I got to talk to myself. But, there's nothing wrong with that. There's this video of KRS-One. I don't know if y'all know who KRS-One is. If y'all on my channel, y'all know who KRS-One is, man. We real hip hop historians here for real. KRS-One, he does this lecture and he says to everyone, I want y'all to say hip hop, but don't use your mouth. So, okay, we can do that right now. We just said it, y'all. So, whose voice is that? He goes on to say, whose voice is that? If we all just said that, we all just said, whose voice is that? And not only whose voice is that, but who's hearing that? Okay? Who is hearing that? So, that's you. And that's why I say, talk to yourself. Because there's a voice there, and there's something hearing that. And going on walks like this, being alone, it there's that word again. I'll link my video down below about allowing yourself to feel good. It allows you to hear yourself. When you're alone, you can hear yourself because you're by yourself. If you want to know yourself, you have to be by yourself. People say, oh, just be yourself. Oh, what do I want to get this job? Oh, just be yourself. Oh, I want to talk to this person. Just be yourself. Oh, I'm meeting my girlfriend or boyfriend's parents. Oh, just be yourself. How do we do that? Guess what? Only you know. Only you know, y'all. That's the best part about it. Only you know how to be yourself. And in my opinion, in order to understand how to be yourself, you have to know yourself. In order to know yourself, you have to be by yourself. Whole lot of self up in this thing, y'all. Speaking of self, I did a video on self-love. I did a couple videos on self-love, and I will link it below. But my point is this: self is really the key to all this, in my opinion. It's really the key to all this, because self is who you're with all the time. Self is who gets you to take action. Self is who speaks. Okay? So let's learn ourselves. Let's be by ourselves. Let's talk to ourselves. Oh, snap. Almost bust my ass. Hold on, y'all. Let me show y'all this real quick. This is where I'm at, y'all. I'm walking down this little trail. It really looked like I'm in the cut, but there's a house right there. Self, 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 self. That is the key, in my opinion. You know, there's a saying that was written on one of these Egyptian structures, and it says, "Man, know thyself." I believe it was the Luxor temple. I know some people give this to they credit this to the Greeks and Socrates and all that, but it was in Egypt first. Man, know thyself, and you shall know the universe. To me, that's powerful. That is powerful, y'all. And I try to stay away from too much separation. I believe what you believe is true. Whatever you believe is true. That's what I believe. So, whether you believe in the universe, God, you're either a Christian, atheist, like whether you don't practice a religion, whether you give veneration to ancestors, pour libations, whatever it is you practice to feed your spirit, whatever you believe, I believe it for you. You know, I believe it with you, however you want to say it. I think there's a lot of separation, and we get caught up into, oh, you need to do it this way, oh, you need to do it that way, or even with anything, there's so many different ways to how you eat, to how you exercise, to how you practice your spirituality. And we get so caught up in these outside sources showing or telling us how to do these things. In my opinion, again, it goes back to the subject of this video is you have to know yourself so you know what it is that you are supposed to do, whether it's exercise, whether it's spirituality, whether it's eating. You know, Billy Carson, if y'all know who that is, check him out. But I know y'all know who Billy Carson is if y'all here. He said he went vegan for a long time and he was having problems with his stomach. And he didn't know why. He said, I'm vegan, I'm going good. But it turns out, I believe it was too much lectin or something of that nature from the leafy greens he was getting, and it was causing him to have health complications. So he couldn't be vegan no more. So I say that because if he didn't know himself and say, hey, I'm not feeling good, I don't feel right, and then he knew for himself he couldn't figure out why, so he took himself to the doctor. The doctor said A, B, and C. But he had to know that there was something wrong within himself to begin with for him to even take that step and go to the doctor. And again, going back to self, he had to take the action to go to the doctor. So bringing it all together is you have to know what works for you, but the only way you're going to be able to know what works for you is if you take that action. Taking that action of trying a new eating lifestyle, taking that action of understanding how you feel as a result of that new eating lifestyle, taking that action of saying, you know what, I don't feel good, let me go to the doctor. Taking that action, you have to know yourself in order to do these things. You have to be yourself. You have to take control of yourself and have that power to even move your body to get to these points, to consume the food or to go to the doctor. So you can take in as much information as you want, but until you apply the information and know yourself enough to know that, hey, this doesn't work for me, this does work for me. You know, I don't want to keep harping on this, but again, self, y'all. It comes down to self. If you want to know yourself, be by yourself, talk to yourself so you can better understand yourself. I believe that's the key. And again, I believe what you believe is true. So this may not work for you, or it may. I believe it will. But if you can take anything from this video, it is learn yourself, believe what you believe in. Let it happen. Allow yourself to believe. Allow yourself to believe what you believe in. Experience something. Say, this is my belief. And this is what I will stand on. And your beliefs can change, y'all. Let them change if they have to. Know what works for you. That's the key, in my opinion. So thank y'all for tuning in. I will talk to y'all later. Shout out to all the rebels. Peace.